South Africa, and a very, very warm welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express. My name is Jeannie D, and I hope that you had a beautiful weekend and that you're all energized and geared up to go into a good new week. Now, it's no secret that women are some of the biggest influences of change, whether it be in the boardroom, stage, music, or shifting the way that people think about life. So today in The Loft, we have, wow, some of the country's biggest media personalities who have emerged in the last 5 years as leaders and game changers in their respective industries. We meet mother of three, Olwethu Leshabane, the founder of the Red Wing Project, an organization that addresses issues of lack of sanitation for South African women, amongst other things. We also chat to her about her passion being for maternal health and her journey of motherhood. Then, of course, it's Mommy Mondays, and we will be discussing dealing with temper tantrums in children with clinical psychologist Jeanine Beukes. So join the conversation online and tell us how you deal with public temper tantrums from your little ones. So tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag Afternoon Express, or comment on our Facebook page. I had my first intro to a child's temper tantrums this weekend, and woo, let me tell you, if you're a new parent, you are brave.
Brave is the word to all parents. We're definitely going to be paying attention to that Mommy Monday segment. Hi, South Africa. My name is Talisha Bonnie, of course. And in the kitchen today, we've got some amazing treats that are lined up. Of course, we've got our chef here, Mo, who's going to be making magic today. What do you have for us?
So for a sweet treat, we've got a choc and nut baklava.
Oh.
To take away the Monday blues.
I love that.
And for maize, we've got a corn soup with maize meal croutons.
I've actually never tried maize meal croutons, so that's a little different. And to try that at home, SMS the keyword Clover to 33650. Or if you're more of a sweet treat kind of person, SMS the keyword treat to 33650 if you want to try our chocolate and nut baklava. For now, over to you, Jeannie.
Now, as long as the entertainment industry has existed, women have faced issues such as abuse, sexual harassment, and of course discrimination on set. Wanting to bring positive change for women to address these issues, an organization called SWIFT was created. So Sisters Working in Film and Television, which is the acronym for SWIFT, is a fresh and energetic non-profit focusing exclusively on the common concerns and shared experiences of women working in film and television. So Zoe Ramushu, who is the spokesperson of SWIFT, joins us in the loft to tell us more about their work. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you so much, Jeannie.
So lovely
really
to have
great.
you here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Why was SWIFT started? And explain to us a little bit more about your role within the organization.
Sure. So SWIFT started in 2016 at the Durban International Film Festival.
Yeah.
I think it came out of a sort of crisis in the sense that women realized that they needed an organization to represent them.
Yeah.
In our industry, we know it is very much a male-dominated industry, male-led industry. It has been in the past, and women have sort of worked in silos on their own, sort of trying to find their way and figure their way through this very sort of patriarchal system. And so SWIFT comes out of that basic need for women to have someone to speak on their behalf, but also just a sisterhood, a sort of a system where you have women that you can lean on, you know, people that you can reach out to, people who have sort of, in a sense, there has been a boys' club that's existed that for the longest time. So now
this is the girls' club.
And so this is the girls' club, essentially, yeah.
I must be honest, I've been so fortunate in my life. I've been in the entertainment industry since I was 18 years old. I've been on television since I was 21. And I'm so grateful that I always worked with women. I always had female producers. So I've never really had major struggles, unless, you know, with lots of other different things, like with emceeing, have I come across men being inappropriate and that kind of thing. But thankfully in my career, I haven't had anything like that happen to me. Looking at your career, why do you think it's so important for an organization like SWIFT to exist?
I mean, I think the main reason I would speak about it is I come from a legal background before I moved into the industry. And so I sort of had the tools to sort of arm myself and have a lot of knowledge about what's okay and not okay. But I'm not your typical story, you know. A lot of people
Me
come
neither.
straight,
I don't think a lot of women have it as easy as I did, I suppose, in the entertainment
you know,
industry.
the average young woman who comes into the industry is desperate, is hungry. I'm sure you remember that absolute desire to make it in our industry. And unfortunately, women are kind of created, they're very tooled in our industry. And to make it, it's a lot of the time about the way you look, the way you dress, the way you present yourself.
Yeah.
And it is about that to a certain extent, and then it becomes something that's abused. And so, in essence, I think there's a lot of struggle for women because of the grey areas in our industry. We're not a formal corporate system where, you have an HR, you have an office that you attend every day. I mean, it's project to project. You're shooting in random locations. You're staying in hotel rooms. It's not your typical industry. And I think that's what creates these grey areas. And because nobody's regularized it or created any systems, a lot of abuse has happened.
So what are the main concerns, I suppose, for women in the entertainment industry? Like, I'm not quite sure. Do we have it as bad as America in terms of, this whole Me Too movement where men are extremely inappropriate, like we've just seen what happened with Harvey Weinstein? Or is it more the case of women not being paid enough and women not getting the right roles? What are the major concerns in South Africa?
I mean, I think you've hit the nail on the head with that. I think we experience both. I mean, there's the inequality in terms of just gender pay gap that is so massive in our country. But what I can speak to more, because we actually have done a research report on it, we did a survey and established a research report that actually looks at the findings around sexual harassment in our industry. This was before the Me Too crisis, before the Harvey Weinstein and everything. And I mean, women in our industry just don't feel safe. A lot of people.
But is it women in the industry or women in our country? I think just don't feel safe overall.
I was going to say. So for us, it's not necessarily just our industry, but because we're such a visual industry, we're so visible. I think it's really important that it comes from us, that it reflects what's actually happening for everybody. And so with our research report, we found out a lot of the areas where women were struggling in terms of just basically coming into a workspace where, for example, you do use your body as an actress, as, that's an example, and then that gets abused. So I think that was one of the major things in terms of the issues.
So how does one become a member of, what's the setup of the organisation? How does one become a member? Or if you need help and advice, how can you be part of it?
So Swift is a member-based organisation. If you just go onto our website, Swift SA online, you can sign up, you can click on the link, and it's very quick to join. It's an amazing thing because it's not just about the sexual harassment. As I said, it's a sisterhood. We have like a database and a group of women who constantly are offering each other work. People who run production companies. It's women who have experience taking women under their arms, you know what I mean, taking them under their wing and, showing each other the ropes.
I've been on TV my entire adult life. The fact that something like this exists now is unbelievable. I'm just, as you're speaking, I'm trying to imagine how things would have been different had this existed back then when I was younger, and well done. All the information on Swift will be on our website, afternoonexpress.com or .co.za. Thank you for coming.
Zoe and Swift doing incredible work, and there's no better time than the present to stand up and fight for our rights. Thank you so much to her for coming through. Now, after the break, we preview the new LG Neochef microwave. Plus, we prepare a delicious chocolate and nuts baklava with Mohorn. See you after the break.
Our guests on Afternoon Express fly domestically with Mango. Enjoy outstanding service, online check-in and seat selection. With the widest booking and payment options, Mango is the only airline globally to accept store charge cards as a means of payment. Fly in comfort with ergonomically efficient seats for more legroom aboard a fleet of new generation Boeing 737-800 aircraft. Join the guests of Afternoon Express and fly Mango. To book your stay with SA's coolest hotel brand, visit protea.marriott.com today.
Welcome back. This is Afternoon Express on your Monday afternoon. Now, we're about to get baking in the kitchen, but now no real dessert is complete without some butter, because butter makes everything better. Now, basically, you know, in those old-fashioned microwaves, our lives have been so much easier in the loft, basically, with this new LG Neochef. But what makes this microwave so incredible, apart from the beautiful design, of course, is the way it's powered. So you remember those old-fashioned microwaves? They would have, you know, it'll have like this kind of noise in the background that goes and then stops, and then goes and then stops. So basically, it's because if you have an older conventional microwave, you'll hear that the noise it makes goes on and off, basically, like what I've just described. So that's the sound of the power on and off to regulate the heat. And what ends up happening is that your food is heated inconsistently. So if you look at this one, let's press start. I'm going to melt some butter now for the kitchen. So basically, sometimes your food isn't heated consistently. So it goes hot on the outside and ice cold in the middle. It's just not even. So basically, LG's innovative Smart Inverter technology is able to keep the temperature in the microwave at a constant, which not only saves on electricity, but allows a much more even and precise cooking and heating. So no more defrosting meat where when the center is like rock hard, where the outside is basically cooked and delicious. So basically, I'm going to be making, well, no, I'm not going to be making, but they're going to be making some baklava in the kitchen, and I've just heated the butter, and it's just happened so easily. 10 more seconds, and all of it is going to be melted. You see, normally the outsides of the butter would be melted, and then there'd be like this little blob in the middle. Not today, friends. And because butter wouldn't melt in my mouth, thank goodness I have this fine friend. Ta-da! Perfectly melted butter. So I'll trade you guys for some butter for half a baklava.
I think that's it. That's fair.
Done deal.
There you go. Thank you. I'll come back when it's ready.
This was quick and easy. Thank you so much, Jeannie. Now we've got some butter to make this so much better, making any desserts obviously better. Now, a crisp and sweet baklava is perfect in its original form, but we're about to kick it up a notch with this chocolate and nuts version that honestly is about to take it to the next level. We're about to turn those Monday blues upside down with the sweet treats. And if you want to try this at home, SMS the keyword treats to 33650. Remember, SMSs cost R1.50, and for SMSs do not apply. Chef Mo, this is great. I need that LG Neochef in my house.
Absolutely, me too.
Because I also want to be making this dessert, and it looks like it'll just be that much easier.
Yes, and this dessert recipe is so quick and easy to make. It's just a few layers of pastry, some chocolate, lots of butter, some nuts, and we're good to go.
Delicious.
Yeah, so
I see you've got your phyllo pastry down already.
We've got our phyllo pastry, wrapped it up in some damp cloth to keep it from drying out and all of that. We want it nice and moist, so when it bakes, it's going to go even quicker. We're going to start brushing off our base of your dish
with the
some
butter.
Melted butter. And we're also going to brush our phyllo pastry quite generously with this butter to flavor it, and also this helps to puff it up quite nicely. So as it bakes, it, you know, puffs up.
Yes,
and
it
melts.
gets bigger.
Yeah.
And does the butter help for the phyllo pastry not to stick on the dish?
Exactly that. So then you do like 3 layers of phyllo pastry.
Nice.
Just brush it.
I actually learned something new for the first time today. Obviously, looking at this recipe, I was so intrigued by the origins of the meal and how it came about. Phyllo actually means leaf. So that just makes sense because it's so paper thin. It's perfect for this. It adds the right amount of crunch to your dish, but also it gives that nice, neutral, balanced flavor. So everything is not as rich and sweet.
Yeah, and traditionally, baklava is made with phyllo pastry. Other pastries won't give you the same consistency and that, you know, nice thin layers. So this is absolutely perfect. It's going to crisp beautifully as we bake.
Okay, so you add your first layer down of phyllo.
You can mix together our nuts. So we've got some peanuts, we've got some almonds, and we've got a bit of walnut. Just mix all of that together.
So the peanuts are in, the almonds are in,
and then
you
also
said walnut.
A little bit of sugar just to give it a sweetness because we're using dark chocolate. But you can use milk chocolate. I just like the the nice bitter of the
taste
dark.
of the dark chocolate.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it too. I love the chili dark chocolate. Would that be a nice mixture here to add that little kick of flavor?
You can, and you can also add some warm spices like cinnamon and nutmeg, but I personally don't like spices with my chocolate. I don't know about you.
You like to keep it simple.
I like it
I
simple.
don't have a sweet tooth, so I like the spiciness to kind of balance out the flavors. If you want to try this at home, remember to SMS the keyword treat to 33650.
Okay.
Now we're about to add our sugar into the
Just
mixture.
a bit of sugar, and then you mix that all together.
Okay, more mixing.
Yeah. So
And then do I start
you can start layering.
layering? Okay.
Just a nice, generous. And then as this cooks, the chocolate melts and it becomes all warm and nutty and melty.
gooey.
And, you know, and we've got this batter. Does it get any better than this?
It doesn't. It looks absolutely decadent and perfect for this winter weather. I mean, it being a Monday, a lot of us need something comforting when we get home, and I think this dessert will do exactly that.
Perfect.
So now we're adding our second layer of phyllo.
Add a second layer. You can add as many layers as you want
Okay.
to this dish. I like it quite crispy and, you know,
Yeah.
nice and puffy, and I want to bite into that crunch.
Playing with
So
textures, of
I go
course.
for like 3 to 4 layers at a time. I mean, why not? It's such a beautiful pastry.
I think I've put too much butter. I don't think that there's such a thing as too much butter.
Not at all.
But we're having fun here in the kitchen.
Yeah.
How else can we enjoy this? I think this would also be nice as a fruit. Is there such a thing as a fruit baklava? If I have some berries and citrusy
Yeah.
flavors in here?
Because it's going to bake, dried fruit is likely to work better. So you
Okay.
can do like some dried apricots, you know, those dried bananas and dried apples.
Mangoes.
And you can play with some white chocolate as well, and also other different types of nuts like pistachios is a general good to go one.
Yes.
Once this bakes evenly in the oven, you just gotta make a little sauce to pour over it with like little honey and some water. Reduce it down. Once it's
nice.
baked, pour it over, do a little icing sugar.
I'm kind of scared.
You're
All
good.
this sugar, we've got honey, we've got sugar, we've got chocolate, we've got butter. It couldn't get more decadent, it couldn't get more delicious here in the kitchen. Remember, if you want to try this amazing dessert at home, SMS the keyword treats to 33650 and you could be trying this chocolate nut baklava at home. For now, over to you, Jeannie.
Ah, that looks absolutely delicious, Pali. After the break, we meet mompreneur Olwethu Leshabane. Then we make a really flavorful corn soup with maize croutons. So remember to please connect with us online and tell us how you deal with public temper tantrums from your little ones by tweeting us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag Afternoon Express or comment on our Facebook page.
Have you ever wanted to be a brand ambassador? To be the face of South Africa's favorite skincare brand? Well, now you can. Last year, I had the honor to be selected as the new face of Ponds. And if you think you have what it takes, simply enter by purchasing any Ponds product and visiting faceofponds.co.za to upload your photo, your bio, and the last 4 digits of your product's unique barcode. I am the face of Ponds. Are you?
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. I hope that you're having a wonderful Monday so far. Now, Olwethu Leshabane has easily become one of our favorite media personalities in the last 4 years, all whilst juggling being an entrepreneur and a mother to 3 beautiful boys. She is the queen of multiple trades, a brand strategist, speaker, digital entrepreneur, and founder of the Red Wings Project, an organization which collects sanitary pads and donates them to underprivileged young women. She's also known for sharing her journey as a wife and parenting through her blog called The Art of Superwoman, where she gives real encouragement to other women through her life experiences. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to finally meet you.
Yeah, thank you for being on the show. We absolutely love what you do. I mean, in the last 3 years, you've just exploded as this incredible influencer. And I mean, tell me how your career started. What was your journey?
Sure. Well, I started off by studying quantity surveying. I thought I wanted to be a quantity surveyor.
Yeah.
And as fate would have it, I found my way into the media industry by, I worked for agency. I got headhunted. I worked for an agency, a below-the-line agency. And from there, I started meeting media personalities. I started working in the media industry. I started doing events for the media industry. And here I am.
One thing I've realized in my life is, as a woman, you can have it all, just not at the same time.
Exactly.
It's so, I mean, it's not a juggle per se, but it's choosing different priorities on what is more important to you at different times in your life. So, I mean, Art of Superwoman, I'm obsessed with it. I think you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Why did you think there was a need for it? Where did the desire come from?
I think it was a need for me to vent.
Yeah.
I mean, I got married young, I had children young. I was 21 when I had my first child.
Yeah.
I was 22 when I got married. So for me, it was just an outlet. I wanted to get my thoughts and my voice out there in a way that, so I thought writing, because I was always a journal girl.
Yeah.
So writing for me was that comfort. But
Journaling,
writing for
I think,
something
must be so cathartic. So putting it on a blog, what are people's reactions to reading the stuff? And what kind of stuff do you write on?
I've always been sort of that controversial person to put my thoughts out there throughout school and at church, wherever it be. I've always been that person I'll put my thoughts out there to suss out who might say what. I was always a journal person, so journaling on a blog sort of got the people coming to the blog to come read. And what I got a thrill out of was hearing the reactions of other people and to see if are other people going through what I'm going through. And to learn that there are other young wives and other young moms out there that are going through what I'm going through was sort of healing, but also it helped me realize a lot of what our parents didn't have and the healing that they're looking for. That we can have together as a generation, as young women now in our generation, going through young parenthood, being a mom, you know, whether you're young or older, and being a young wife, also wanting a career, but also having the responsibility of being a mom
but I
and
think
a wife.
Because you've had your kids, I mean, you've got 3 boys under the age of 12.
Yeah.
You're still very young, so you can still have a career. This is where I say you can have it all, just not at the same time.
Just not all at once.
So for me, I will obviously, but I know I look 21, but I'm not. But I'll start my family later in life because my career was so important to me. Where you've done your career first. I mean, you've done the mothering thing first, and then your career afterwards. But what is it like? I mean, 3 boys in one house, and you're running a business.
4, including the husband.
Oh, yes, of course, and that's 4th child right there. And you're running a business.
Yes.
So, I mean, do you just have, like, radical good time schedules?
Not necessarily. I think it's and I always like saying this, and it took me a while to get it, to switch off and switch on. So in everything that I'm doing, I need to be present. So I can't half-ass. Sorry if I can say, I don't know if I can say that on TV.
Probably not. Let's leave it out of the next sentence.
So I can't half that thing, you know, parenting. So if it's parenting, I'm there. I need to put the kids to sleep. I can't be on my phone and still put the kids to sleep or read an email and put the kids to sleep. And if it's the husband, it's his time. It's our date night. So that's him and I. If I'm working, and somebody needs to look after the children. This is where outsourcing comes in now. So I can't do it all at once.
Yeah.
I can't do it or I can do it all, but not all at once. So I need to
Exactly.
outsource the function of parenting when I'm working.
Yeah. What I loved about your blog is that you were very vocal about, I think it was your third child. You needed to investigate different options of birthing.
Yes.
Take me through that story, and because I found that so interesting.
So I had 2 C-sections with my first 2 children, and with the third one, I'd always want natural birth.
Yeah.
So the first one I was in labor and then emergency C-section.
Yeah.
The second one, I wanted a natural birth, but I was told, there's no way you're going to have a natural birth. The gap is too short. My children are 18 months apart. And so it was another C-section.
Yeah.
Now with this third, with my third
how
child...
beautiful do you look like hey, I'm ready to have a baby, just looking all beautiful.
Now with the third one, I wanted a natural birth, and the 5-year gap allowed me to try or have a trial on labor for a natural birth. So
And did you do a water birth?
I did a water birth. It was
Tell me about that.
amazing. It was painful, but amazing.
Yeah. Do you still get the painkillers when you have a natural birth?
No, not after 2 C-sections.
Okay.
So you sort of need to listen to your body now.
Okay.
As opposed to you might be pushing the wrong way and push through the Caesar scar. I don't know if it's a bit too gruesome. You need
this is a woman's show. There's nothing too gruesome for us to discuss on this.
So you need to be able to know how you're pushing and listen to the signals of your body. So there's no epidural, there's no pain meds. So it's all natural.
There's so much I want to talk to you about, and we've got such little time, but I want to know quickly about your Red Wing project.
Yes. So we started Red Wings Project to collect and distribute sanitary pads to underprivileged young girls and women. And this then sort of birthed this hub to be able to create awareness for sanitation for women. So not only do we need women to have sanitary pads, but they need to have means to change them. They need running water to wash their hands. So it also creates opportunity, and we look for opportunities for women to get into the sanitation space and be exposed to the means at which they are heads of in the homes. They're the primary water bearers. They're the primary water fetchers. Why they're not part of the system.
You really are Superwoman. So Art of Superwoman, the blog. Thank you so much for... I've got so much I still want to discuss with you. But you are staying with us. Thank you for being on the show. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Clover fresh milk is way better. Made with love by Clover.
I'm definitely looking forward to reading up a bit more on the Red Wing Project. Incredible work that Olwethu is doing. Bravo to you. Now let's ease into the winter chills with a hearty bowl of soup made with Clover fresh milk. Our corn soup with maize meal croutons is quick and easy to make and will definitely hit the spot. Now this is one to try for dinner, and SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 to do that and get the recipe sent to your device. SMSs cost R1.50 and free SMSs do not apply. Mo.
Yes, here we go.
Maize meal croutons. It sounds amazing.
I know. It's going to be so totes amazed. We're going to all be amazed.
By these maize meal croutons. Look, they look incredible to me. I like trying new things out in the kitchen. And I like this because we're playing on something that is so traditional in any South African household, which is uphuthu, papa, maize meal. But we're putting a different spin on it today. We're trying it and putting a different face on maize meal, I think. A different face on it.
A different face. So usually you would have like bread croutons with your soup, or like a toasty. But because we're saying if you have some leftover pap, just transform it, use that as a crouton into your soup.
Into the soup to kind of fill it out and make it more filling. Okay, so what's the first step?
So we're going to start with our soup base, and that is just some onions and some leeks. It's sort of the same family, but each one has a different characteristic that they add to the soup.
To the dish,
And then we're going to go in with a bit of chopped garlic. So to make your maize croutons, what you do is you make like your normal pap mixture.
Yes.
Put that onto a baking tray, and then mix in some of your fresh herbs that you might have, like basil or parsley.
I see that. I was wondering what these little specks are. They look so good.
Yes.
Okay.
So you let that cool down a bit, and then you cut it into your cubes and bake that into the oven until they're nice and crisp and golden like this.
And it's that easy?
That easy. And
okay, I can try this.
You can add different flavors to that if you want, or you can just keep it plain. Maybe some chili. You like your spicy food.
I love my spicy food. I love as much flavor and kick as I can get. So you can definitely add this in too?
Add all your spices, anything that you want, go for it.
Okay, nice. Next step. I see that you've got some sweet corn.
We've got some sweet corn, so we're keeping it slightly vegetarian.
Okay.
We're going to use some chicken stock. I love chicken stock.
Yes, me too.
As opposed to vegetable, because it just has so much more flavor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know that we're bringing in the creaminess, of course, with our Clover fresh milk. And to try this recipe at home, SMS the keyword Clover to 33650. So when does the milk go in? Do you have to wait for your spices to cook out?
Yeah, so we're going to use a little bit of curry powder, like a mild or a hot one, anything that you have, or roasted masala, and a bit of smoked paprika, just to give it that nice smoky touch to it. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to go in, just give that a little mix quickly. And then we're going to go in with our liquid. So
I cannot wait until technology is taken up to the next level where we have smell-o-vision, because the aromas coming out of this kitchen is absolutely incredible. My stomach is turning because it's just, I can't wait. I'm already salivating. It looks so good.
Right, it's nice and colorful already. You can add some other vegetables to this if you want, maybe like chopped peppers and even a bit of protein, like some chicken.
Yes.
That would go nicely in this dish.
Okay.
So we're just going to add some milk, and also for that creamy mix, a bit of fresh cream, just for...
A lot of people are getting really sick. I don't know about in your households or in your workplace. A lot of people are ill. It's, of course, flu season and cold season. And the thing to eat is soups. You know, we need something easy to digest, something that's also going to hydrate us, and soups are it. So you definitely want to be trying this at home. Of course, mix it up and make your croutons with maize meal. Winning
all the way. So just add a bit of ginger as well to your soups, you know, because ginger does help too for the colds and the flu, and to maybe
it clears up all those sinuses all at once.
Absolutely, and a touch of lemon as well, a fresh squeeze of lemon and the lemon zest. Add all of it, because you need that vitamin C.
And that black peppercorn also to kind of open up everything.
They all go so well together. So we have a done soup, and we are going to plate it up.
Nice, okay.
So you can blend it. I like my soup chunky. How do you like it?
I love my soup chunky because I want to feel like I'm eating something, unless I'm super, super sick and I just want to like chug everything down and just drink it. But this is nice, this is hearty, this is filling.
We have blended some of the mixture, and then we've kept some of it whole because I like to crunch into something. I don't want to cook those corn kernels all the way through. And then you can just garnish with some of our pup croutons and our leafy greens and a bit of sweet corn kernels as well.
Make it look good.
Make it look good. I mean, how many ingredients was this? So super quick and easy to make.
So super quick, so super easy, especially if you're coming from a long work day. Yes. You don't want to be spending all your time in the kitchen. I'm actually just going to add some sweet corn.
Go for all of it.
Make it look cute. That was easy. Chef Mo, we hooked it up again, girl.
Well done.
New week, new us, new recipes in the kitchen. Now remember to SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 to get this recipe. And if you need to see how this is made one more time, here's a quick recap.
Made with love by Clover.
Now, the thrill of the Premium League in motorsports, Formula One racing, is coming to the Mother City this Sunday, the 2nd of June. The Red Bull Cape Town circuit is bringing South African fans the chance to witness the thundering power of a Formula One car in all of its glory, taking place at the Grand Parade. Now, this free event will see tens of thousands of motoring enthusiasts experience F1 legend David Coulthard putting his mechanical beast through his paces. Oh, can't wait.
Well, look, I know nothing about racing, I'm not going to lie to you, but you've been making a big deal about this in the loft. You're very excited, obviously, a car fanatic, a car junkie, and you get to meet David.
I know, and I've met him twice, actually. Before.
Get it, girl!
I've interviewed him once, and then I met him once at a party. David Coulthard is amazing.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I'm very excited. So Red Bull and Afternoon Express are very excited to announce that we will be giving away one lucky viewer the opportunity to win the experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, I cannot. I mean, and it really is an opportunity of a lifetime. It is incredible. I think there's this whole VIP section.
Yes, the Friends of Red Bull.
Oh, the Friends of Red Bull section. It's going to be unbelievable. It is really worth seeing. And it's not necessarily just a man's event. Trust me, it is amazing. If you simply SMS the keyword WIN along with your name and city to 33650, you will be entered into a random draw to win a set of double tickets to the Red Bull Cape Town Circuit launch on Saturday, the 1st of June, as well as a set of double tickets to the Friends of Red Bull hospitality tickets. Everyone always wants the hospitality ones.
Yes.
Which includes dedicated parking at the venue, complimentary drinks and food, and the best spot from which to watch and catch all of the action with a view of the pit area, all to the value of 1,950 Rand.
I mean, the opportunity of a lifetime, indeed. I definitely want to be there. More for the free food and drinks, but I guess, of course, I'm going to be enjoying some F1.
No,
I'm
you've
going to
got to
be
be there for the horsepower.
I don't know anything about racing, but the feel of the adrenaline and exhilaration of hearing those splitting roar of the engine and the squints through the haze of the tire smoke. I mean, it sounds incredible. And the smell and that aroma of burning rubber.
I do love the smell of burning rubber.
Yeah.
So give yourself the opportunity to enjoy a really unique Friends of the Red Bull experience at the Red Bull Cape Town Circuit F1 Extravaganza this Sunday, the 2nd of June. So enter our competition. Simply SMS the keyword WIN with your name and city to 33650. The competition closes at 5:30 p.m. this Friday, the 31st of May, and entries are limited to residents of Cape Town. Sorry! And SMSs cost R1.50 each, and free SMSs do not apply. T's and C's do apply and can be found at afternoonexpress.co.za. And I do know that our team is working tirelessly to try and bring David Coulthard here for an interview. He is amazing. He's one of the sexiest F1 drivers of all time, but he's really fun. He's got an amazing personality.
Oh, wow.
And I'm a huge F1 fan, so it's going to be amazing.
I'm definitely looking forward to the event. I'm looking forward to meeting David, of course, and just sharing in the excitement. Good luck to all the winners, or rather the entries and the viewers out there. We are going to be picking out one lucky winner. But after the break, we're going to get into a Mommy Monday segment with Jeanine Beukes, of course, and we're discussing children tantrums. What do you do? Connect with us on social media at Afternoon Chat. Tweet us using the hashtag Afternoon Express or comment on our Facebook page. See you after the break.
Our guests on Afternoon Express fly domestically with Mango. Enjoy outstanding service, online check-in and seat selection. With the widest booking and payment options, Mango is the only airline globally to accept store charge cards as a means of payment. Fly in comfort with ergonomically efficient seats for more legroom aboard a fleet of new generation Boeing 737-800 aircraft. Join the guests of Afternoon Express and fly Mango.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, and of course now it is time for Mommy Mondays. So children express how they feel through emotions which can often look something like a meltdown, also known as a temper tantrum. Although tantrums are a normal part of child development, the way young children show that they are upset or frustrated, it can be a really hard thing for parents to deal with, especially if the child can't express themselves through words yet. So clinical psychologist Jeanine Beukes joins us to discuss what temper tantrums are caused by and how to best deal with them. Welcome back, Jeanine. Lovely to see you.
Thanks, Jeannie. Wonderful to be back.
I had quite a testing weekend. So I've got 9 godchildren. I'm basically like Elton John. And this weekend I took my 3-year-old to the aquarium, which I just wasn't emotionally prepared for because, first of all, her parents handed me this little harness and a leash, and they said, "Trust me, you are going to need this." And then what I wasn't emotionally prepared for was the temper tantrums.
Right.
Just because it makes me feel as if I failed at something. What are temper tantrums? Why do children have them?
Look, the fact that you said how awful you feel is really important.
Yeah.
When children have temper tantrums, it elicits awful reactions in us as parents. We feel panicky, we feel stressed.
Disempowered.
Angry, resentful, you know, the child's really let us down and we look really foolish.
Imagine saying to the 3-year-old, "You've let me down." I mean, at one point I was thinking, what do I say to this child to make her stop screaming? And I was thinking, do you want me to put you in the Shark Tank? At one point I was like, thank goodness I didn't end up saying that to her, but I was considering it.
Those are the thoughts that go through our mind at that point. And I think it's so important to then remember that even though we're having those feelings, that we're the adults, and our toddler is trying us, but we have to be there to comfort them and help them through this. They are not doing it on purpose. They don't really hate us, even though they say so. And we just cannot remove ourselves emotionally by ignoring or by punishing.
Oh, that's easier said than done, though. So, I mean, what tools can parents have, or can you teach parents to deal with the temper tantrum? Because I know some parents are very tempted, and I can kind of, I mean, I'm not a parent, but I can understand sometimes our parents just give a little tap on the bum just to calm them.
Huge
but that doesn't work.
Huge temptation. It certainly doesn't. It never works, and also it has huge ramifications for the future. So you're not teaching your child any skill by having a temper tantrum yourself.
Okay, what do parents do when a child becomes hysterical in a temper tantrum, when they're having a meltdown?
Your first thing is to breathe deeply and to try and calm yourself down. And then...
Look for the vodka. Don't do that.
That's for later, when they're in bed. I would say you need to look at safety, because little ones that are having a meltdown can hurt themselves and can hurt others. So you look at safety and protect them from themselves. Hold them. You don't want your toddler running into the road. Make sure they're safe. But then we have to kind of reach down to your child's level and start with empathic listening. It's not the time to give your child a lecture and try to make him be logical. You know, he's absolutely overwhelmed. He's overwhelmed by the frustration he feels, by cortisol hormones. So the stress hormones have already been released into his little brain.
So children aren't being brats. They're not being naughty when they're having a temper tantrum.
No. Often we as parents have failed to pick up the early warning signs that they're taking strain. And now, in the only way that he knows how to tell us how he's feeling, he has to show it through his behavior. And we are needing to validate his emotions even as we don't like his behavior. So we can't ignore. Our baby really needs us then.
Do they need a hug or to be felt safe, especially when you just really do want to throw them in the Shark Tank? You've got to feed it with love as opposed to aggression.
Often they're heading out at that point and they're shrieking at the tops of their voices.
I know, it's so embarrassing.
Yeah, it is unbelievably embarrassing. So you might need to, you would lean down and not be talking from on high. Be at child level, at your toddler level, and listen to what he's saying. So that would be the empathic listening. What is he trying to say? You're really hungry. You really want that, sweetie. And I get it. You missed breakfast. Things have been going crazy. You're tired. You're hungry. I get it. It must be awful to be in your little body at this particular point. It's that listening to what he's saying. And then repeating to him.
I feel so sorry for parents sometimes. Like I remember one time I was on an aeroplane flying to Mauritius or something, and there were these 2 young parents with 3 children, all what looked like under the age of 3 years old. And these 2 little toddlers were having a meltdown. They were having such a moment. And the mother was sitting with her newborn baby. And I just looked at them and I just held up my hands for her to hand. She looked at me, she handed me the newborn baby so she could deal with the other 2. And I just thought, shame, you feel so sorry for parents, especially. But now, is it only toddlers that have temper tantrums?
No.
Like, I sometimes think I have them.
We all, look, you're mostly it's under the age of 4 because the prefrontal cortex has not been properly developed. It's an underdeveloped prefrontal cortex. So babies, toddlers, dysregulate very easily, and they have no ability to logically think a thing through. They need us as adults to help them think things through when they're ready, and to understand what's going on. So mostly it's under the age of 4, but often if those needs haven't been met and those emotions haven't been validated as a little person, when we're older, we will have temper tantrums. And
sorry, Mom.
You know, and it's basically the same response.
Yes.
If your husband can listen to you empathically, understand what your protest is all about, it calms you, regulates you, and you become a normal, civilized
chocolate, it'll all
person all over again. So this empathic listening and then repeating what the child or what the adult is saying, the mirroring of the emotion is great, and it calms everything down. It doesn't mean you give in. You can stand firm and you can say no, but that doesn't mean to say you withdraw your love, your comfort and your support.
Well, that's really good advice for adults as well as children. By getting upset, you're losing. So just listen and be empathetic. Thank you so much for being here to teach us kind parenting.
Thank you.
Cheers.
After the break, I'll be reading some of your comments and questions that you've been making on our social media pages. And hopefully Jeanine can answer and tackle some of them for you. Plus, Zoe and Olwethu join in on the conversation. See you after the break. It's an add to cart kind of day, so stand a chance to win your share of 1 million rand with Manhattan Iced Tea. Shop online in April and May at www.shopmanhattanstyle.co.za to be entered into the grand prize draw of a shopping experience in Sandton City. The winners will be announced on 5FM's Tabooty Drive in June. Buy any Manhattan 500ml or 1.5-litre promotional pack. Redeem your code from under the label and earn your virtual Manhattan dollars. Ready, set, shop! welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now join us tomorrow for our favorite day of the week when we'll be having some fun in our kitchen on our cook-along. The 28th of May is International Burger Day, so we'll be whipping up some of the most delicious burgers with all the trimmings. I can't wait for that. Now, you don't want to miss out. SMS the keyword burger to 33650 to get the list of ingredients you'll need to cook along with us. SMSs are charged at R1.50 and free SMSs do not apply. So join us tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. right here on Afternoon Express.
Clover fresh milk is way better. Made with love by Clover.
Okay, so we're busy discussing temper tantrums because I had quite a weekend. So I want to know if you, I mean, 3 children, you must be a pro at handling temper tantrums by now.
Sort of just walk over them in the shopping aisle. But I mean, my 1-year-old has started throwing tantrums now. So he has this like, he waits for your reaction and then he like slowly goes down and then he's just like,
wow,
and then he doesn't want to hit his head, so he's like, like slow-mo.
The drama of it all. But a lot of our viewers are saying exactly that, Jeanine, on social media. We've been asking you, how do you deal with temper tantrums at home, out in public? A lot of people are saying they either ignore, step over and toodles, or some people actually join in on the temper tantrum. Some
Or you
parents
try and
say,
reason with a 2-year-old, or try and get logical, but that you said
and
that
Jeanine,
doesn't
I remember
work.
you saying, yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Trying to reason, the side of the brain that's taken over is not the side of logic, so no logic is going to enter in.
So you just cry too.
And crying too is not going to help because it's just, even if you feel like you want to cry, that's going to just heat up the atmosphere. Your biggest thing is, and by ignoring or just overlooking, we're not validating your toddler's feelings. And we really need to let them know that we understand how they're feeling. We mightn't like the behavior. Later on, we can discuss that. But the feelings we validate and we understand your emotions. You are really feeling miserable right now. I understand you have every right to feel so miserable. And I love you and I wish it was different and it's really hard.
Shame, you're not really doing a great job of selling motherhood to us.
No, literally, I'm sitting there and I've been planning around, you know, when I'm going to have kids. After this conversation, I'm like...
Let's just push it back.
I'm like, yeah, that's a full-time job in its own. Like, I don't think I'm ready for that just
I'm on a
yet.
group chat with all of my friends who've got kids. No.
We aren't, and we keep making mistakes, but we can keep coming back and trying again. It's an ongoing learning experience.
It is. And I mean, all 3 of my kids are extremely different.
Right.
I dealt with terrible temper tantrums with the first one. The second one was sort of his own little person. And then this last one, for now, it's like slow-mo tantrums. Like, are you watching me? I don't want to hit my head yet.
Do I have an audience? Okay, and action.
Thank you so much, ladies, for being on the show.
And still love them.
Thank you so much, ladies, for being on the show and sharing all your stories and for teaching us kind parenting.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Join us on the cook-along tomorrow as we meet mega-talented rapper Zakwe. Thank you so much. I hope you had a great Monday with us. We'll be back tomorrow. Good night and God bless.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.